What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, talking today about the Battlefield Hardline beta. Now this is open on pretty much every console and PC to anybody who's welcome and willing to do it, but I'm going to do my own little review so you can know what I think of this beta so far. To get a nice round feel for how the game is working on all the different consoles, I actually played it for 2 hours on the Xbox One, I played it for an hour and a half on the PC, and I played it for 4.5 hours on the PS4. All the footage you're seeing during this is actually captured during my PlayStation 4 playing. So in this open beta, we actually have 3 maps and 3 game modes to play on. Now let's go over these 3 game modes because they're very different and very interesting. The first mode we're going over is Heist Mode. Now this is pretty much your bread and butter. This is what Battlefield Hardline is all about. Cops and robbers at its very core. When playing as the crooks, you're trying to break into a vault, steal millions of dollars, and get it out to a series of checkpoints, whereas the police are trying to stop you at all costs and recover as much money as possible. The criminals are spawned behind the bank, get to break into the backside of the vault, and try and get out in any way possible. As soon as you start picking up money, you become a giant beacon for the cops. The cops are storming in the front door of the bank and trying to stop the crooks as fast as possible, and it's so perfectly balanced that I really liked it. It didn't feel like the map was broken or the game type was broken. A lot of times when you try and make these asymmetrical gameplays, they can really be wrecked easily. One slight spawn off and all of a sudden you can get completely screwed. One thing I really liked was the verticality of the game itself. Now, there's actually a parking garage across the street that can see only into the second floor of the bank. So if all the criminals grab those money bags and start to run out through the roof, you can pick them off, and vice versa, the criminals can actually take over the parking garage and snipe you off, and this is actually one of their recovery points for the money, so they can basically keep it safe while everyone's running money constantly up that one way. I really enjoyed Heist Mode, and I look forward to having a lot more maps to play on, because this one map over the course of a night, I did feel the edges of that box real quick. The second game mode, and probably my favorite one in this beta, was Hotwire. The crooks are trying to steal cars. As a twist, what you're doing is you're having to steal cars on a list. They have a giant beacon. When you get them, you have to get them up to 50 miles an hour. The longer you can keep them at 50 miles an hour or over, you start gaining points. You get Hotwire points, which add up to the overall score you're trying to obtain. The cops, on the other hand, are trying to do anything they can. They can shoot you while you're in the car, they can blow the car up. As long as they get you to go down below 50 miles an hour, they can stop you from getting points and run out the clock. I do have a deep secret passion for racing games, and this actually scratched that itch for me really well. Driving in circles along these dirt roads, trying to keep my car up at maximum speed as long as possible, as people are zigzagging between houses, jumping over fences, and lobbing grenades, was so much fun. And being the cops and trying to shoot out a tire, or myself running all over the place, was so much fun. Jumping out of helicopters to try and dive bomb into a parking garage and steal a van before the competition was an adrenaline rush like no other. The biggest thing I have to give them credit for is that it's all different car types you're trying to steal. It's not just sports cars or big cars. You have tankers, minivans, church buses, anything is good to go. The third game mode is your Battlefield classic tried and true conquest mode. This is where players are trying to capture zones while brutally butchering everybody on the enemy team. It's really dry and basic, and it's fun on the new maps, but at the same time I didn't really know why you would bother putting this in the beta. I feel like they added this in just to try and cater to the Battlefield 4 fans, to try and say, hey, I know this is a really different game, but we do still want you to buy this one as well. Overall, I loved this beta a lot. It felt hyper-real and cartoonishly fake at the same time, and I mean that in a positive way. 2 bullets can completely clean your clock, but you can also hop out of a speeding car or a helicopter, pull your parachute, and be completely fine. There are times when I'd be trying to creep through a building and all of a sudden get strangled out, and I would just feel how visceral and realistic it is. And then I'd see that guy get shot, and he'd ragdoll like a freaking Counter-Strike character, and suddenly be pulled out and realize how cartoony this is. Each class is very specific in their talents. They all felt very bound into their roles. If you had a shotgun and a grenade launcher, you weren't really going to be doing anything long range, and it wasn't really possible to do anything long range. Although when I had my sniper rifle out, I could do mid-range and decently long range, but close range I was pretty much going to get screwed over. It gave it kind of a Team Fortress feel to me personally. which I liked. I liked that when I chose a role, I knew what I was getting in for. And when I saw people struggling because there were people off in the distance, I knew which role to play in order to try and get them out of that jam. The biggest two pluses of all are A, the fact that the servers are phenomenal, zero lag. Every game was chock full of players. They were balancing it in the perfect way. A lot of games will accidentally either make a million servers, making where every single server has great latency but is empty, or they'll have too few servers and you have a horrible lag in queue time. They did neither. They kept it perfectly balanced. And the biggest plus of all is the map size. I am in love with the map size. Every single time I'm running around, I can get to destinations quickly, I can see objectives clearly, I can always find something to do in 35 seconds maximum. There is never downtime. But at the same time, I'm never bumping into people. I'm never feeling claustrophobic. When I steal a helicopter and I'm flying around the map, I feel like I can stretch my legs, and thusly when I'm also creeping from house to house with a shotgun, I don't feel like the helicopters up top are just completely dominating the game. Overall, I really like this, and I will be buying a copy to review. I don't know if I'd buy a copy normally, but it's pretty interesting, and I'm actually really excited to play more of it. I do plan on playing this game a lot more for these next 5 days while the beta is still up, so if you want to play with me on PS4, always feel free to go to the Twitter or the Facebook page. I send out a giant blip whenever I'm going to be playing, and I love to play with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You guys are the absolute best. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. But do me a big favor and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends. So let's team up, kill some cops, kill some robbers, and have some fun. Actually, you know what? I probably shouldn't say kill some cops.